Hey everybody. I've been looking at, all the news with Donald Trump and, different things he's in and, folks wanting him to do this and do that and this whole back and forth thing with, Pam Bondi and, some of the decisions he's making. It's just a mess. And so, the thing I would say to Republicans right now is that it's okay to disagree with Donald Trump. Even though we voted for him, I voted for Donald Trump. And I think he's a much better choice than someone like Kamala Harris. But at the end of the day, he's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. And even though he's somebody you voted for and somebody you believe in, somebody that you think is doing a good job, it's okay to say, you know what, he needs to be doing a better job over here. Or, we don't believe him when he says this. Like, it's okay to disagree with your elected officials. You don't have to be like a zombie and believe everything they say on television. And so, I'm happy that some of the folks in the MAGA base are speaking out. And it doesn't mean that, these people are going to turn their backs on Donald Trump. All it means is that we want Donald Trump to do better. We want him to be transparent. We want him to follow through with some of his campaign promises. I look at the comments online about, some of the things that are happening in the news when it comes to Donald Trump. And it's almost like a lot of these Republicans have turned into Democrats. I mean, you hear a lot of folks saying, oh, well, this podcast, or because they're speaking out and saying this about Donald Trump, they sound like they don't support MAGA and all this other stuff. No. Again, if you want the president to do a better job and you want Republicans to do a better job, it's okay to criticize them. It's okay to, wake them up a little bit and say, you know what, that's not okay. And I applaud, folks like Candace Owens. I applaud Tucker Carlson. I applaud, I think he's a comedian, what's his name, Dave Smith. I applaud them for speaking out. We're making the same mistakes that the Democrats made a few years ago, where it's just like everything was, Barack Obama was perfect and he did no wrong. And it's just like America's not going to get better, or even a politician's not going to get better and follow through with their campaign promises if you just keep on acting like, everything they do is fine. Everything they say is okay. It's okay to, ask for folks to get better, or at least, criticize and, have people think. And so, again, there was even a video where I think his name is Sean Ryan. He's a big podcaster, and he had on Gavin Newsom. And people in the comment section, again, these were Republicans. Oh, my God, how could you give Gavin Newsom a platform and all this other stuff? And, like I said to somebody on Twitter, now it's called X, but I said to somebody, regardless of how many podcasts somebody like Gavin Newsom comes on, it's not going to change his record as the governor of California and the bad job that he's done in California. And so, I mean, we got to get to the point where we're not like scared to speak out and ruffle a few feathers and invite people on to shows and make videos about people or interview people that, don't agree with MAGA. And so, again, I just hope more Republicans say, you know what, we don't have to agree with everything Donald Trump says, and that's okay. That's life. You have parents. You don't agree with everything your mother and father says. Like if you're, when you were growing up, your mother might have said, I want you home at 10 o'clock. And maybe you said, you know what, at the day, I, don't want to come home at 10 o'clock, but let's, maybe it'll be 12 o'clock I'll come home. I'm just using an example, but again, you're going to have disagreements with people. That's life. And, for folks to think that, and Donald Trump, to me, he's getting a lot done, but there's still a lot of things he needs to improve on. And so to sit back and expect people on podcasts and people, on the news or just folks on social media not to say nothing is crazy. I mean, and these were the Democrats that have said, oh, well, not Democrats. These are the Republicans. Some of these Republican influencers, they're the first people to say, oh, America first and all this other stuff. But then when he does something that doesn't benefit America, oh, well, be quiet at the end of the day, we've got to support our president. I was even looking at Charlie Kirk, and, he said something like, oh, I trust I think I'm paraphrasing, but I trust Donald Trump or whoever. He was talking about he trusts folks in the administration. Again, what did Ronald Reagan say? You trust but verify. And so you can't put all your trust in a politician just because you voted for them. You have to, speak out and make them aware when they're doing wrong. It's with anything. I don't care if it's work, anything. I mean, when you're at work, your boss is going to say, you know what? You need to be doing a better job if you need to do a better job. And so it's the same thing with Donald Trump. I mean, it's okay to disagree with Donald Trump, even if you voted for Donald Trump. So that's the message that I want to just get through to folks. Thank you.